Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. I hope your Saturday's off to a great start. Here in our area, it is wet, it is rainy, it is going to be close to 60 today, for crying out loud. I do believe that we are in, I don't know if this is the first or second false spring before we get return winter 2. I don't know. We'll keep track of it here. It's Michigan. And, speaking of the weather, we did have some pretty devastating stuff roll through the west side of the state yesterday. Holy cow. If you've not seen some of the videos on that from the southwest side of Michigan, yikes. Big storms went through. It missed us, though. I see somebody asking about that. We'll get to that here in a second. But, kind of a fun weekend as always here at the store. Lots of news to cover this morning. If you haven't heard, there's been a big adjustment to the record store day list. We'll cover that here in a second or two. And some deletions also. Actually, one thing got pulled from record store day. We'll fill that in as well as cover some of the new stuff we've gotten here in the store and otherwise. But first, let's head over to the YouTube side of things and say good morning. I'm so appreciative, man. There's so many of you guys that line up every single week to say hi and good morning, and it makes my day. Always good to see you guys out here, and I'm thankful that you hang out with us every Saturday morning when obviously there's probably better things to do than listen to me ramble on. But Jennifer, good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Fred, on the west side of the state, hopefully you guys made it through the storms just fine there in the Grand Rapids area. I think it was a little south is where things got a little dicey there. TKR, Video Central, TC. Yeah, we did get some crazy weather, but it missed us here in the Midland, Michigan area. A little south right now. It's a little north of us. A little bit of a weather hole in Midland, but it passed by us. But it did rain, and it is warmer. But speaking of the weather, we for years and years when we lived in the UP, always felt that there was a St. Patrick's Day winter storm in or around, not actually on St. Patrick's Day, but give or take about 5 or 6 days before, 5 or 6 days after, and we always called it the St. Patrick's Day storm. And we worked with a meteorologist at the TV station who now is a state representative. Way to go, Carl. Who admitted, he said there's no such thing as a St. Patrick's Day storm. So we'll wait and see if the UP gets hit with one or if it comes through here. We get one more winter storm. That's my prediction. Sometime in or around St. Patrick's Day. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, Gerard saying winter's going to return next week. That would fall within the time frame. Pat saying happy second spring to everyone. Thanks for being here, sir. Moon Invader checking in from Maine. Good morning, and thanks for being here. Let's see, Jeff, Mr. T saying good morning. Good morning to you as well as Ryan saying hey, hey. Kicking in here. Let's see, Derek saying good morning. Hey, man, thanks for being here. Karen. Hi, Karen. Hopefully you guys a little southward got missed by some snow or some storming there. Hopefully that passed by you there. Dan, good morning to you, as well as Lee Page saying good morning. Mike, good morning. Walking in the rain. Isn't that a Police song or Sting song? I forget. I lose track there. Diesel, happy daylight savings time. Yeah, that's right. I got to mention that too. Thank you much for bringing that up. You need the rain and the storm, but not the storms. Yeah, you guys probably do need that down there in Texas. And Pat calls it the Easter blizzard. Maybe a little bit later. Well, let's call it St. Patrick's Day and call it good, Pat. How's that? Anyhow, yeah, the time change. That's what I was going to get at. It kicks in late night tonight, overnight. So it's a spring forward. Set your clocks forward one. Show up early Sunday morning to wherever you're going on Sunday morning. That is the way that it works. In fact, that reminds me, I better drop Steve a note and let him know, because we record our podcast episodes, the two guys talking about records, on Sunday morning. So hate to have him not be there at the right time, but I'm sure he'll be fine with that. They did get, by the way, I talked to Steve yesterday on the phone, and they got hit out in Colorado with a huge snowstorm. He left Michigan, the first time since he left Michigan. I think he said he's had to use his snowblower in a very substantial fashion. How's that? But yeah, that'll all melt out there, just like it will here eventually. So. Oh, yeah. So don't forget, turn your clocks ahead tonight when you go to bed. You know what? I don't even know why we say that anymore, because of these and one of these and comes up. I think most of the stuff adjusts automatically. There are a few clocks in our house, though, that we need to flip manually. And don't forget to do that. Okay, onward to some news. If you've been following the Record Store Day stuff, they dropped a big one. Let me rephrase that. They dropped a big one on us midweek here. At geez, out of nowhere. She couldn't leave well enough alone. I'm speaking of course, of they've announced a Taylor Swift release, dropped into the Record Store Day 26 pile o things. This one is called Elizabeth Taylor. It is a 7-inch, 45 RPM, little one here. And let me call up my description. So for those of you who are interested in this, 7-inch vinyl with collectible cover artwork. It is called Elizabeth Taylor, as I mentioned. The color of the vinyl is something called Cry My Eyes Violet Glitter Vinyl. So this has got 2 songs on it. Side A is Elizabeth Taylor. The song side B is Elizabeth Taylor, the So Glamorous Cabaret version thereof. So for those of you interested in this from a collecting standpoint, or however you want to think about it, know that the suggested list price for this Taylor Swift one, 7-inch glitter LP, not LP, 7-inch glitter vinyl, 2 songs on it, 2 versions of the same song, will list for $19. Now, we've also been told that we don't need to worry about this one being rationed. That tells me they're going to print tens of thousands of these things. So they will be out there, and I don't know if that's, I'm sure it's going to curtail the collector's market. So it's really just the fans that are going to want to get it. So here's the deal. Because this was a late addition to the RSD list, the window for us to order is open, and I'm going to put ours in later tonight, Saturday night. I've already heard from, I think, 3 or 4 people that say that they want this on a wish list, so we'll try to get a hold of them. Again, we cannot reserve or hold or pre-order these things. We just like to know how many we'd like to order. So as of now, like I said, I think I've heard from 4 people, so that means we're probably going to order maybe 8 to 10 of these. If you want one of these on Record Store Day, I don't think it's going to be a problem. We'll get a few. If we run out, I don't think it'll be a problem to get more the week after, but let us know. Let me know by today. Drop a message via email or Facebook or something and say, hey, I think I'd like to get one of those for $19, the Taylor Swift one, and we'll put in for several of them. But my order goes in to our distributors tonight, and right now I don't think I'm going to get a heck of a lot of them, but you guys tell me. Do you want them? Do you not want them? We'll figure it out from there. But yeah, the Record Store Day one, kind of a surprise, but not really. not really, I guess. One of the other notes from RSD that we did get is that the Pearl Jam release, and this was a book. I think this is a book, and it did have a 7-inch with it as well. We heard that there were some printing issues with the book, so the Pearl Jam release is pulled out of Record Store Day April and has been moved back to Record Store Day Black Friday in November. So I'll get some more info. Steve and I are going to talk about the Taylor Swift. We will talk about the Taylor Swift on the podcast tomorrow evening, and we'll mention the other deletions from the list as well. But again, please let me know, and we'll put in for them. Okay, very quickly, I'll get to you guys' comments here in just a second or two. And but I wanted to cover the new releases that we still have in stock from yesterday while I got a little time here, and we're kicking them out. I didn't put this in the new release video. Saw this a little bit late. This, yeah, you know, speaking of, here I am just kind of making fun of the Taylor Swift 7-inch, and then look what we get. I'd get for the store. It is a 10-inch picture disc from Spinal Tap, and this is Stonehenge. Let me call that up there. Stonehenge with Sir Elton John. Let me get my thumbnail. There we go. Picture disc. It is a die-cut picture disc, so it's shaped, and it's just the one song. I was laughing looking at the back. The credits say written by Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer, Rob Reiner. Vocals by Sir Elton John. Then it goes on for the other credits. It says bass by Derek Smalls, guitar by David St. Hubbins and Nigel Tufnell, and mandolin by Nigel Tufnell. I still haven't seen the new Spinal Tap. I know I should be getting around to it. I'll wait till it's on a streamer. But I saw this, and I like Spinal Tap stuff, and I thought that this was a fun one to get. So there may or may not be one of these in the personal collection. Watch the podcast, and we'll let you know for sure. But I do have one of these in stock, more available if you need to get it. But $20 for a shaped picture disc. That is for a collector. Also released, you know, speaking of Record Store Day, a couple of years back, this was like a big deal. I mean, a big deal. And they only pressed, I think, a few hundred of them. And they went so quickly, and they shot up in value like crazy. And it was supposed to be a Record Store Day exclusive until they decided that there was more scratch to be made. Then they reissued it. Now it's been reissued again. This is Randy Macho Man Savage with his Be a Man album. This one is on a limited run vinyl. It's a yellow and orange splatter vinyl with some red in there. This thing's expensive. It listed for like over $50. I can't do that to you folks. $47 is the tag here. I only have the one of them. Super limited like the last one. I wasn't going to get more, but I thought I'd get one just in case there was somebody that wanted to. Yeah! Yeah! Did I do that right? I'm not a wrestling fan. Other reissues from yesterday, the Donnas and Spend the Night, their 2002 album. This one is on clear with pink and yellow splatter vinyl. And I only have one of these in. We should be able to get more. I'm going to talk about this here in just a second. I'll put it over here. Restocks from yesterday, the triple LP from Joe Bonamassa, the B.B. King Blues Summit 100. I wanted to listen to my copy, so we had to get another one here for the store. But this is a great, holy cow, this is a great guitar blues album. 3 LP set, Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy, Marcus King, Tedeschi Trucks are on here, as well as Mr. Larry McRae. So I got a couple more Larry McRae albums for the store as well. His Blues Without You. His latest one is not on vinyl, but hopefully somebody, they'll get around to doing that. Okay, other stuff we brought in. Speaking of Michigan, this is a group called Mirador from last year. This was released. This is Jake Kiska from Greta Van Fleet, his side project with a whole nother band. Okay, I've not listened to it, or if I did, I listened to it very briefly online. I just grabbed one because the built-in Greta fandom. Other restocks, I got a great Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. I got some Greatest Hits in here. And Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, some Rolling Stones. And I think, a lot of other stuff. Check the video from yesterday and we'll get to that as well. But one of the things I'd mentioned I'd wanted to do on our updates was talk about some of the high-end collectibles, and I've not really done that. So I'm going to try to remedy that today. And I had one more, and now there it is. So with the Donna's reissue, and this one coming in at $37 single LP, wanted to show off that we do have still a Donna's in the high-end collectibles. This is a 2020 repressing, unlimited edition yellow vinyl, numbered number 1900 out of 1945 of them. So it's up there, but this is one of the Run Out Groove releases. So it's one of those special limited run releases. We do have this in stock. It's triple digits, but contact me if you are interested. And then last week, just out of the fun of it, Abby was here and cleaning some records. We got talking about some of the oldest. You guys know I use Discogs to keep tabs of our inventory here. Well, you can rearrange the Discogs stuff. And I went back and looked and say, what's the oldest entry that we have in Discogs for inventory here in the store? And figure out what that is and why that is, because we're coming up on, over 9 years now. So the oldest entry, and this is a challenge if anybody wants to pick this up, is a Pia Zadora album. Yep. I'm from the 80s. I remember Pia Zadora for her wonderful body of film work. I guess we could mention it like that. This is kind of a jazz vocal classical album. It's called I Am What I Am, not to be confused with Popeye and Olive Oil, but this is Pia Zadora singing. This is the oldest album unsold in the store that we have cataloged. I'm going to try to do this from time to time and bring that up as a challenge to see if someone wants to get one of these ones that have been sitting around for a long time. It's very modestly priced too, by the way. All right, very quickly, let's dive back to the YouTube comments before we take off for the day. See where I left off. Let's see here. Gary and Doogie says, hey. Scott has Harry Styles. Yeah, we didn't get very many of the Harry Styles albums. I've got more of those coming next week. Hence, I didn't mention it. Let's see. Hello from Iceland. You're talking about the weather. You guys are Iceland. So, yeah, you're in the Northern Hemisphere, too. Wow, we got a lot of comments. Let me get through these here. Up north, Mother says, good foggy morning to you, Steve Carlson. Who doesn't want a glitter disc and some bling on the table? Jeff saying you want one. I will take that, Jeff. Let me know. Let's see, my shirt, DK from GB, my shirt is overmodulating. That's how I live my life, man. Overmodulated. All right. Budman says that the Randy is Slim Jim colored vinyl. Oh yeah, there we go. Macho Man, let's see, BB King. Oh, Karen, cool. We'll do that, Karen. And let's see here. BB King is good. Huge crush on Pia back in the day, says Diesel. Yeah, back in the 80s. I was going to say, I remember that her body of work in the films, right? That's what I said. So TC has that Pia album. It's fantastic. Better singer than an actress. Okay. I was going to say it's a bar that's about there, TC, but we'll go from there. Who will I get? I'm in Maine, Moon Invader. Okay. All right, folks. I think that we're going to go ahead. It's a fun one today. Hey, all right. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I'll let you know that, oh, shoot. I forgot to tell you, and I should have put this up front. Monday, here in the city of Midland, road construction, not in front of the store or by the store, but near the store, on one of the main drags to the store begins, and it is going to mess things up. It's the two one-ways, Indian and Buttle Street, that kind of move into Patrick as you head east out of town. They are going to rip the snot out of those roads, and they're going to be fairly impassable from starting Monday pretty much all summer long. I don't know what this is going to do for the loons, but they can't be too happy about that. But it's going to be a mess out there, and it's going to be a mess through the summer. So for those of you that come to the store regularly, I'll put up some posts about alternate and better ways to get here once they start ripping that stuff up. But here at the store, we're going to be fine. And there's other ways to get to the store. So don't worry about that. It's just the main drag through town that's going to get a little dicey. So, all right. Lee says, have fun selling music. I always do, sir. Thank you very much. Don't forget, we're here at 716 George Street, just north of downtown Midland. Open today, Saturday, from now until 4 p.m. Tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 noon until 4 p.m. Don't forget the podcast, Two Guys Talking About Records with my good buddy Steve Carlson. On this week's show, Steve and I are going to go live. Well, not really. We're going to record it, but talk about live albums. How's that? And then don't forget the new release show coming up next week, Friday the 13th. There should be some fun stuff. That one goes up a little bit later on today. So until next week, roads are made of snow. Never mind. Okay, folks, until next week, I think that this is going to be a fun day. I think I should get some cool stuff on the table. We will talk to you next week live from Radio Wasteland Records. As always, thanks for being here. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have not already, we would greatly appreciate it. Have a good one, folks. Stay safe out there with the weather, and we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records.